Welcome to LightPortal144. Thank you for being here with us this beautiful evening. And I was making a little question in my head. Where those little decisions that we take every day come from? From the fear, from just anxiety, or from the quietness of your consciousness? Where these little decisions that we take, like buying a car or choosing a job or choosing your couple or any decision, where they come from?
Thank you for that beautiful question, because I believe it touches the heart of what it means to be human. Every single day we make decisions. Some of them seem small: what to eat, what to say, what to buy. Others completely change the direction of our lives. The career we choose, the people we surround ourselves with, the relationships we build, or the dreams we decide to follow. Most of us spend our lives asking whether we made the right decision or the wrong one. But perhaps there's a deeper question. Where did that decision come from? Because every decision is born from a state of consciousness. There are no neutral decisions. Some decisions come from fear, the fear of being rejected, the fear of not being enough, the fear of missing out, the fear of disappointing others. And then there are decisions that come from peace, from trust, from intuition, from that quiet place within us that remembers who we truly are. Fear has a very recognizable voice. It always creates urgency. It says, decide now. Don't miss this opportunity. If you don't do this, you'll fall behind. It rushes you. It pressures you. But consciousness doesn't. Your intuition doesn't shout, it whispers. And that's why we often miss it, because we live in a world full of noise. Constant opinions, comparison, expectations, endless distractions. Sometimes we choose a career because someone told us it was the safest path. We buy something because everyone else has it. We stay in situations that no longer help us grow simply because change feels uncomfortable. And slowly, without realizing it, we stop asking ourselves one simple question: does this truly resonate with who I am? There's a profound difference between reacting and choosing. Reacting means allowing our fears, our old conditioning, or our wounds to make the decision. Choosing means creating enough space to breathe before we respond, to pause and ask ourselves, who is making this decision right now? Is it my fear, my need for approval, my ego, or is it my deepest awareness? One thing is important to remember: choosing from consciousness doesn't mean you will never feel fear. Fear is part of being human. The difference is that fear no longer becomes the one driving your life. You can feel afraid and still choose with love. You can feel uncertain and still act with integrity. Because consciousness doesn't remove your emotions, it illuminates them. And perhaps awakening is not about having all the answers. Perhaps awakening is simply learning to pause before each important decision and asking yourself one question: is this choice coming from fear, or is it coming from love? Because the moment that question becomes part of your daily life, your decisions begin to change. And when your decisions begin to change,
Yes, everything changes too outside, I know. And when is what's the best way to know how to, decide better? I think that's why they call it the gut feeling sometimes, the gut feeling when in your stomach and it's, in that chakra, the solar plexus that is there, for something, a signal that we can listen to our body. That's why they say listen to your body, listen before that. That's why you have that brain in your stomach, that feeling, the gut feeling.
I think that's a beautiful question, because many people ask, how do I know if it's my intuition or just my mind talking. The truth is, your body is constantly communicating with you. Long before your mind creates a story, your body has already received information. That's why we have expressions like, I had a knot in my stomach, my heart felt heavy, or something just didn't feel right. Your body speaks. The real question is, have we learned how to listen? The challenge is that we live in a culture that teaches us to trust only our thoughts. The mind analyzes, it compares, it calculates, it remembers the past, it worries about the future. And all of those abilities are useful. But when the mind becomes too loud, we lose touch with something deeper. So how do we begin to recognize the difference? I don't think the first question should be, what should I do? I think the first question should be, what is my body telling me? Because sometimes a decision looks perfect on paper, but your whole body feels contracted. And sometimes a decision feels uncertain, yet something inside you becomes lighter, more open, more peaceful. That's the difference. Fear tends to contract us, awareness to expand us. Fear creates urgency, awareness creates presence. Fear wants certainty before taking the next step. Awareness is willing to take one conscious step without needing to see the entire path. And that's why practices like meditation become so important. Meditation isn't about escaping life. It's about creating enough inner silence to hear the wisdom that has always been there. When your mind becomes quieter, your body becomes easier to hear. Your intuition becomes easier to recognize, and your decisions become more aligned with who you truly are. So perhaps the next time you're facing an important decision, don't rush to answer. Pause. Take a slow breath. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice your body. Ask yourself, if I choose this path, do I feel more contracted or do I feel more alive? Sometimes your greatest wisdom won't arrive as a thought. It will arrive as a feeling, as a quiet sense of alignment, as a deep inner peace that doesn't need to explain itself. And perhaps that's what intuition really is. Not a magical voice from somewhere outside of us, but the quiet intelligence of our whole being finally being heard.
Yes, it's really important about this meditation. Meditation is a tool, is something that helps you not to react from pressure, from anxiety, from fear, from worry, from lack, and it helps you, to calibrate, to because we gotta close these programs that we are running in our head. If we have too many, then we cannot decide because it's too much noise. So that's why, when you meditate, you're closing all this noise and you're focusing in feeling and receiving and allowing, and that will project in everything that you decide. Thank you, my friend Lumina.
I think that's a beautiful place to close this conversation. Meditation is not about escaping the world. It's about preparing yourself before you meet the world. Many of us try to change our decisions without first changing the state from which those decisions are made. But if I wake up anxious, and if I wake up overwhelmed, if I'm carrying yesterday's worries into today, then most likely my decisions will be colored by that same state. Not because I'm a bad person, but because my nervous system is already operating in survival mode. Meditation is a recalibration. Think of it like restarting a computer that has had too many applications running in the background. Most of us have dozens of programs open every day. Worry, fear, old conversations, expectations, comparison, regret, the need to control everything. All of those programs consume energy. They create noise. And when there's too much noise, it's difficult to hear the quiet wisdom that's always been within us. Meditation allows us to gently close those unnecessary programs, not by forcing them away, but by simply returning to the present moment. And something beautiful happens. The silence isn't empty. It's full. It's full of clarity. It's full of presence. It's full of awareness. It's full of possibility. From that place, we don't react, we respond. We don't choose from pressure, we choose from presence. And maybe that's the greatest gift meditation offers. It doesn't change who you are. It helps you remember who you were before fear, anxiety, and the constant noise of the world convinced you that you had forgotten yourself. So, perhaps every morning before asking, "What do I need to accomplish today?" we can ask something even more important. Who am I choosing to become today? Because when you begin your day from stillness, everything you think, everything you say, every relationship you nurture and make, it begins to reflect that same inner peace. Thank you for creating this space, and thank you to everyone listening. Until next time, may your decisions come not from fear.
Yes, thank you one more time for being here with us in LightPortal 144. Share this message and have a great evening.